Hey guys, Jay here with Word of Advice TV, and today I just want to briefly explain what a two-stage furnace is. And I happen to have a two-stage furnace in my house, so this will work out perfect. So what is a two-stage furnace, and how is it any different from just a normal furnace? A two-stage furnace, the whole purpose behind it is to save you on fuel costs and energy costs. What it does is on milder days when it's not as cold outside, the furnace only runs at 60 or 65% of its full capacity. Meaning instead of 100% full blast, it's only using 60% of the gas and electricity that it normally would use to heat your home. They call that low stage and high stage. So the low stage turns on for about 15 minutes on average. So the furnace will first turn on in low stage for the first 15 minutes. And let's say you set your thermostat up to 72 and it's 70 in the house. If it cannot reach 72 in 15 minutes, then the furnace will ramp up to 100% into high stage to get the job done faster. So of course, if it's really cold outside, then chances are your furnace will be going into high stage a lot more often. But for days that it's not as cold, it does save you quite a bit of money by not using its full capacity all the time. So that's how it works. As for what's different with the components, the difference between the components on a regular furnace and a two-stage furnace, the inducer motor, for example, is a two-stage inducer motor. So most usual inducers will have just two wires coming to it. You know, the line voltage will be black, the neutral white. As you can see, mine has a red. So that's the low stage. The black would be the high stage, and of course white is common. So the inducer is different on a two-stage motor. The gas valve is different. It has two stages in it as well. That's why there's two wires here as well. I don't have an intermittent pilot, so there's no pilot. One's a common, one's a low stage, and the other is the high stage. The gas valve will be different, and as you can see, my furnace also has two pressure switches. The pressure readings on them are different as well. This one's 0.17 inches of water column, and this one's 0.5 inches of water column. So this pressure switch is for low stage, and then this pressure switch is for high stage. And the control board will be a little different as well. It has to be for two-stage heating, of course. Usually it'll have something like, heat low and heat high, or stage 1 and stage 2, like you see on mine right here. But the blower motor itself stays the same between one-stage furnaces and two-stage furnaces. Well, and that's about all there is to know about a two-stage furnace. But just so you know, the newer furnaces, they're coming out with like three-stage furnaces as well. You'll see 3 pressure switches. The inducer motor will be bigger, and of course it'll be for 3 stages. The gas valve will most likely be variable speed. And if you're getting into variable speed, some of the more expensive, newer furnaces will be variable speed everything. So the inducer motor will be variable speed. That usually will have a plug with a bunch of wires going to it. The gas valve is variable. Of course, that has a very expensive control board, and the blower motor is typically going to be variable speed as well, which means it has a ton of speeds, not just 3 or 4, more like 60 to 90. And those furnaces are smart, so it detects, like, if you have a dirty filter, it'll ramp up to a little higher speed. Same with the inducer motor, it'll just gradually increase the heat instead of just having 2 stages like mine. But I just wanted to throw that out there so you do know that that's out there as well. Well, and that's what a two-stage furnace is and how it works. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any more questions about the two-stage furnace and how it works, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to mash that like button on the way out, and we'll see you next time. And for those of you that are still here, in a few of my videos I mentioned that the silicone carbide igniter is very fragile. And I just want to show you an example of that. I pulled this one out from a furnace I was working on earlier this week. It's a burnt out igniter. If you're curious what a burnt out igniter looks like, by the way, here's an example right here. See how it's burnt out right there? That's a pretty normal spot for it to burn out on. Sometimes it'll be on the bottom. It'll just be like a little crack right here. This one's like way burnt out. These silicone carbide igniters, the ones that are sparkly and kind of like a big M, they're very fragile. So I just want to show you an example of how fragile it is by knocking it on the floor here. And just out of curiosity, how much of an impact does it need to break? So here's just a light tap. Let's increase that. There you go. As you can see, that didn't take that much pressure at all. I wasn't hitting it too hard against the floor. I mean, I know it's pretty hard to tell on camera, but it doesn't take much for this thing to break. So if you're putting in a new igniter and you accidentally hit it against a cabinet or something, As you can see, you can easily break the new one, which I've done before, and hopefully you have a spare in your truck. Anyway, see you next time.